New habits, new year, new you.
Hey everyone, welcome to our weekend in review. Man, we had a blast this weekend, didn't we?
It was good. Got to clean up a big old water mess. Got to fill a hot tub with a trickle of water.
Don't know exactly who left the mess.
Yeah, we're not going to point
floor.
fingers or anything, but you know, it was good.
Things happen, right?
Yeah. Somebody forgot to put the cover on the hot tub when they warmed it up.
Yeah,
So whoever that was, they'll pay eventually.
I think we made it up to like almost 90 degrees.
It was 88 degrees when they jumped in the pool. So I felt bad promising everybody a hot tub and delivering a cold one. So
it was a warm tub. I mean, you know, wasn't terrible.
but they were good sports, so that was awesome. No, it was awesome. We had baptisms. We had an amazing worship experience, and I just felt like the church was full, not only with people, but it was just a full Sunday. It was a good week for me, at least.
I agree. It was a great week, and so awesome to see Jacqueline and Mia show that they have committed their lives to Christ and therefore being baptized as a result of their belief in Jesus. Just great to see, you know, young people saying, I'm ready. I'm giving my heart to the Lord. You know,
Amen.
Jesus said you can't enter the kingdom of heaven unless you become like a little child, you know.
Right?
Sometimes I think as adults our overthinking things sometimes gets in the way of just simple faith and stepping forward in faith and belief.
I would agree with that. And speaking of breakthrough, it was awesome to see two kiddos from release time hopping up there to get baptized. And I just feel like we've seen a lot of breakthrough in our students from release time all the way to youth group,
Yes.
especially in the last few weeks. So courage for the breakthrough. I just love that. I'm going to keep hammering that home all year, and it's just awesome seeing that breakthrough coming.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
good stuff.
So this week I talked about the habit of sharing, you know, and specifically sharing our faith. And there's 3 W's that I used to help us remember what they are. The first is our witness, the second is our words, and the third is our welcome. So I just want to talk about our witness a little bit to begin with. It's hard to not be a person from the outside and look at people in the church and just see a big hypocrite sign over people, right? And, you know, as followers of Jesus, it is important that our witness matches what we profess, that our who matches our do, right? And you know, we don't always measure up to what we desire to measure up to. But on the flip side, we also have the fact that we are attempting to become like the perfect one, Jesus. So we're never going to quite get there in this lifetime. And there's grace for that. And I think I mentioned this on Sunday, but one thing that really helps is even though I'm not quite living up to the standard of Christ, although pursuing it, that part of just being authentic and having an authentic witness is also saying, I'm sorry. You know, like when I blow it, when I don't measure up to what I profess. But on the flip side, we do our best to be a positive witness for Jesus each and every day. And Philippians 2:14 says, do all things without grumbling or disputing, that you may be blameless and innocent, children of God without blemish in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. I love that. You know, so as we're out and about in our daily lives, just living a consistent, God-honoring life is a huge way of sharing our faith. The second W is words, and we talk about what we're passionate about, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
what I know, Mike, one thing that you were passionate about is guitars, right?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or cars, or a good detail job.
Right? There you go.
And so, you know, I talk about hunting, I talk about fishing, things like that, things that we are passionate about, we will talk about. So why is it so wrong for us, or why does it feel so wrong sometimes, to use our words to share our faith? And my whole point was, I think sometimes we make too big a deal of it. We try to come up by saying the perfect words in order to share our faith, and we think we need to have all of our theology spelled out perfectly.
Yep.
And really, people just want to know what God has done in our life. And people, you can't argue with someone's testimony. You can argue with my theology. You can argue with whether or not you think the Bible is true and all these things. But what you can't argue with is that God has moved in my life.
Yeah. You actually stole the words out of my mouth as you were talking about it. Is no one can argue my truth or the truth that I know and my testimony. We were talking about evidence at the Alpha class this last Sunday here, and the one bit of evidence that I have in proof of God and proof of Christ is my testimony. And there's not a soul in this world that can tell me that testimony isn't true. It's mine, and that's, to me, is so enduring. So yeah. If we have this passion, why don't we share that passion the way we would the Vikings winning or something, right? The way we get so passionate about things. That's good. That's good.
Right on. So our witness, our words, and lastly, our welcome. Hebrews 13:2 has always got me excited. You know, it says, "Don't forget to show hospitality to strangers, for some who have done this have entertained angels without realizing it." You know, what a cool thought that just by being welcoming, you may have like hosted an angel in conversation or in your home or something like that. Just a cool idea. Maybe you picked up someone on the side of the road and it wasn't just a normal person. You never know. But one of the greatest ways that we can share Jesus in this world is just by our welcome. And I think as a church, we really strive to be a welcoming church. I think one of the things that would be the opposite of showing Jesus is to portray that you are not welcome here. And so as a church, we try to be super welcoming. But as people, I think that we can work on being welcoming. Part of that is just, are we welcoming in our nature? You know, are we open to conversing with people that we don't know? Do we have time to welcome people into our lives? Like, that's a challenging one for me to. Yeah,
right. And as far as like the church as a whole being welcoming, I mean, when I first came here, that was the initial thing that hooked my wife and I and kept us coming, was the welcoming team, the hospitality team. You know, as a whole, but also individually, each person was just so important in their attitude and their outlook, and you can feel that. And that was, you know, I mean, we're not angels. I guess I'm not an angel, but I was incredibly welcomed and very blessed by that. And I feel like that was definitely a point that made me serious as far as Harvest goes. Just awesome. In my own personal walk. Yeah, I was at a point that I needed some Jesus, and Harvest really helped me take that next step. And it started with the welcoming team. So
very awesome.
Rabbit trail.
That is a good one, though. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to keep it short today. That's our weekend in review. God bless you. I encourage you to work on your witness, your words, and your welcome. And don't be afraid, as you are going throughout your week, to share your faith and encourage people towards finding Christ themselves.
Bless you guys. Have a wonderful week.